Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Michelle. If you're new here, I'd like to thank you so much for stopping by my channel and invite you to subscribe if you enjoy what you see today. So yeah, be sure to give this video a like and let's go ahead and get into it. So I am going to be playing with some of my favorite products that I have down here in my makeup drawer. I have an entire new makeup setup. I probably should have shown you what it is that I'm working with. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull my hair back to get started. This is gonna be a random chatty get ready with me. So if you're not into that, this might not be the video for you to see, but I hope you do choose to hang out and I hope you do choose to stick it out and hang out with, I do hope you choose to hang out and stick all the way through the video, of course. All right, so now my hair is out of the way and I want to put on my little head wrap thing. Okay, so I do really like this. I just wish I had a different color. So I was watching one of the channels that I like to watch lately, and one of the newer channels that's in my subscription, like notifications, which I really like her channel because she uploads a lot of content. I like, especially small channels. I like small channels that upload a lot of content because most small channels don't upload very much content. And yeah, that's what I'm into these days. So anyway, I was watching her channel. I will link her channel down below in the description box. That was my dog. One of my dogs just snorted behind me. It sounded like a creepy, like, monster of some sort. I do have 3 senior pets. If you're new here, I have 3 senior pets that are right there on the couch next to me. So, you know, they make some noises when they're sleeping and when they're awake. I'm gonna get started with some primer. I do already have my under makeup moisturizer on. And so as I was saying before, and as I showed you briefly in that clip, which if you want a more detailed overview of like where all I'm keeping my makeup, be sure to join my channel membership. I will have that link down below in the description box if you're interested, where you get access to more, like, you know, personal type of videos, like taking you through my makeup collection more up close and personal, and like the different setups every time I change my filming setup and stuff like that, and my vanity setup, because I change things a lot. Speaking of which, so there were a lot of things that I was wanting to film and follow up through. Okay, there was a lot of things that I wanted to film and follow through with for the latter part of 2024. And I didn't really get to do that. I had a lot of stuff come up, mostly health issues, but also just like other things that I have going on. And I wasn't able to really, like, for example, the lipstick project pan that I tried to start. I think that's the second time I've tried to start a lip project, and I haven't been able to get myself to really follow through as far as like the tracking goes. And I apologize if I keep looking past you. I do have a mirror right behind you, and so I'm looking at you, but I'm also looking at the mirror from time to time so I can put my makeup on. Anyway, I thought that it might be nice to have the mirror right behind you so that you can see the makeup application kind of more straightforward and a little bit closer, more zoomed in, so that you can like get a good look at the makeup and stuff. Anyhow, I did wash a big chunk of my brushes, but I still have, if you were here in my last video, you heard me say that like almost all of my brushes were dirty. I had a huge box, like it was a delivery box from Sephora that I had full of all my brushes, face and eye brushes, just dirty. Okay. A lot of brushes in there. And so I've been, I apologize if you hear my stomach rumbling. Baby, are you okay? I forgot to move the curtain. Anyway, I've been working my way through cleaning those brushes, and I'm not sure if I should start using some of those today or if I should use the handful of brushes that are in my current most recent rotation that haven't been washed yet. So let me just look and see. I really want to get those brushes organized before I start pulling from them because, yeah, but I am going to pull one specific brush. I'm going to pull my double-sided Nikki LaRose brush because I am still like testing this brush out in a bunch of different ways. And I heard her mention something in a video that I recently watched of hers that, she was like, you know, I encourage you to try this brush in different ways. Sorry that I didn't put like a witty spin on what she said, but anyway, it's early and I haven't finished my coffees. Let me do that. Yeah, so let me say, the ice storm that has hit a big chunk of the nation right now, while another chunk of the nation is currently on fire. We had a big fire here locally as well in one of our power plants, of course, right before the snow hits the storm, you know? So, of course, a lot of us are pretty afraid because here in Texas, we're not prepared for, I'm going in, I'm custom creating a shade match with my two foundations, and I'm going to try to do a little bit less coverage today, but still a nice full look. So yeah, and I'm trying, I'm still on this kick of trying new techniques and trying new stuff with my makeup within the new, like for the new year. That's kind of like what my goal is just to expand my horizons and to not let some of my own personal like mindsets about things hold me back within my makeup journey. So an example of that is like getting into double-sided brushes, okay? Something that I have been completely against since the beginning of my makeup journey. Like my mom gave me a bunch of double-sided brushes way back in the day, and I was like, no girl, this ain't it. Like for me, the fact that you have this other end like this, it just looks so backwards. But you know, that is more of like a mental thing that I feel was like really holding me back. And I'm just not really, I meant to go in with concealer and corrector first. Let me just go in with a light layer of foundation, and then I might do some correcting and concealer after. Although I know that's not really the best way. Yeah, see, this is why, like for me personally, I don't really enjoy using a palette for applying my foundation because I need a lot more foundation than most people do, and I kind of always have, and that's because of my freckles. For whatever reason, you know, it's just like, ow, it seems to be like the way that people do makeup, that you are supposed to cover it up or whatever. And I mean, like, I don't try to completely blank them out to where you don't even know I have freckles. Some people do that. I just try to kind of cover them up to really push them in the background so that they're less of a focus when people look at me. Okay, so I'm trying to blend the two shades. Anyway, and prime my brush at the same time. Yeah, and so because I have a lot of, people would call it discoloration, not only from a current breakout, thanks to the Fenty foundations, but also because of previous breakouts, thanks to sensitive skin, and also because of, you know, hormonal breakouts that like are sometimes really deep, and as well as just the whole like freckles. And then as I've gotten older, I've noticed that I have a lot more, excuse me, I have a lot more like varying skin tones throughout my face, whereas when I was younger, I really do feel like when I was younger, my face was more even toned, you know, like my actual like skin underneath didn't look quite so splotchy. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, I don't have a problem with it being splotchy. It's just, I do feel like I should cover that up, you know, in order for the focus to be a little bit more on the rest of my makeup instead of the fact that I should have done that with my makeup. Quote unquote, should have. Not like there's rules or whatever, but anyway, I'm going to have to go over with a little bit more foundation. I should have done my corrector first, but I haven't filmed in a long time, and I just forgot. I didn't remember until I started putting on the foundation, and I was like, oh, girl, you need corrector big time. So I probably could have used a little bit more corrector under the eye, but right now I'm focused on my base. And this brush here is a belly brush. If you're curious, just, you know, like when I share what brushes I'm using, I'm not telling you that so that you can feel the need to go out and get it. It's just, you know, if you're keeping up with what brushes I use from my collection based off my haul and what I say about them or whatever, you know, I just like to let people know. Or like if you're curious, like what brushes I use more often, and you're just tracking it, you can keep up with it, like based off of when I mention it too, you know, because I certainly don't post it in the description of the video. It's just like too much for me to try to keep up with. Like YouTube is my hobby, and I just, like, I can't, it's not that I can't be bothered. I mean, I could be bothered if I had the time and mental energy to deal with it right now, but I just don't. And so that's why I really enjoyed leaving YouTube as a hobby, to where I don't feel obligated to do anything aside from Vlogmas. If I say I'm doing Vlogmas, I do feel obligated to follow through with doing all of Vlogmas, which is difficult, which is why I like to do it, because it's really, really hard. I don't know. It's just like a personal challenge that I really enjoy participating in. Anyhow, I'm going to do a little bit of color correcting down here because, whoa. I think I also did, hold on, I had to reach across you, I'm sorry. I think I did wash one of my Nikki LaRose concealer brushes. Do I have one clean? No, but I'll use this one from Singe Beauty. Yeah, so much better. I just feel like that gave me a brighter under eye already, just like taking away all of that discoloration that I can see there. It's a combination of, like, I don't know, bags and freckles and probably scarring too, and you know, it's just plus shadows, and it's just, when I'm gonna do a cool tone look, I really try to neutralize all the gray that's in my face naturally, because it just makes me look really, really gray. Okay, back to the foundation. And I think what I'm going to do, also, I forgot to shake it. That could have been a problem too. So I think what I'm going to do is, instead of trying to mix it on the palette, I can't get enough product out like that. I'm going to just swipe it on my face like a big dollop. And then add a little bit of the light one next to it. Not quite as much, because I'm not as light as I used to be. Okay. I wonder how much of this foundation I have used. Since I've been like laying it down, I can't really see through it. I might start keeping it stood up so that I can see that better. Okay. So this is also from that Belly set, and it's certainly not as good as the BK Beauty ones, but it's a great size. However, now that BK Beauty released the smaller version of the 101, I think it might be called Don't get me lying, I don't know the number. Anyway, which I did wash it, but I'm trying to keep my BK Beauty brushes clean for a video that's coming up, so that I don't have to take the time to wash them all again, because I have a lot of BK Beauty brushes. Anyway, I don't want to have to wash them again before I do this video. Yeah, so I saw this like this little snippet masterclass of like a mocha mousse look from Makeup by Mario that came up on the Sephora YouTube channel yesterday, and I watched it, and although I don't like all of his techniques, like for myself personally, for my own personal utilization, not saying that what he didn't look amazing on someone else. I'm just saying for me to pick up some of those tips and tricks, like it's not really my jam, you know? I do pick up a couple of things, but anyway, I did really like his finished look more than I've liked most of the other celebrity makeup artist looks that they've done. And yeah, I was a little surprised about that, because he used tones that were just a little bit warmer than I typically appreciate. But ever since the Natasha Denona I Need a Warm palette, I really am into warm tones. And I will say that the Anastasia Beverly Hills Spice palette is a beautiful little, like, I'm not going to say dupe to the I Need a Warm palette, but like a nice little stand-in if you're not trying to drop Natasha Denona prices and you're looking more for like $30 or under. That ABH Spice palette is stunning. It doesn't show up that great on video, but in person, it is so beautiful. I can't wait to use that one again. As a matter of fact, if I wasn't going to be doing cool tone lips today, I would be probably using that palette really, like, honestly, really, I would. Okay. Now I feel like the foundation is looking a lot better. My face could use a little bit of buffing. So here's where I'm going to try to use this Nikki LaRose brush. I'm going to use this clean brush, and instead of utilizing this for cream blush and powder blush, just because of like the visual shape to me, I'm going to do what Nikki LaRose said, and I'm going to try to use the top of the brush where it meets on both sides. So I'm going to use both of the sides, and I'm going to just use that as a nice little buffer. I'm going to just buff in my foundation, which I haven't done my concealer yet. Okay, so I have not done my concealer yet, so I'm just working on using the end to buff in my foundation to really get more of a skin-like appearance, and so that it doesn't just sit so heavily on my face. And so even though I do use a lot more product than a lot of artists, makeup artists suggest to use, for most people who don't have freckles like I do, I feel like I don't use too much foundation considering what all it is that I have to work with. Now, using this brush here as a buffer, I have to say I do really like what it's doing a lot. But yeah, I just don't understand then, like, why it's a duo fiber. Why didn't you just make it one way, you know, like one color, so that the look of it isn't throwing me off visually with my OCD, you know? At least with the new concealer brush that Lisa J was inspired to create based off of this, like as inspiration or whatever, at least with that one, each side really does have its own dedicated use. I do like this brush as a buffer, and I feel like my foundation, this About Face foundation, looks better than it's ever looked on me without having some sort of a glowy primer underneath. As a matter of fact, All I did was use a little bit of this. I didn't even put this all over my face like I normally do pretty heavily. I only put it here and a little bit here and a tiny little bit there. So kind of like in the T-zone and then here on my smile lines. And honestly, aside from the fact that you do still see like freckles and things like that, I really do like this brush as a buffing instrument. So what that means to me then is that I didn't need it to be 2 colors, and I'm going to try to ignore the fact that it's 2 colors and do a fiber, and I wish that it would have just been the same color all the way across with the current shape that it has. That's how I feel. I mean, that's it. That's how I feel about it so far after having used this for the first time as a foundation buffer. So that being said, I do feel like it looks like I don't really have any foundation on. Let me finish my concealer now because, yeah, I need to do that. I could either use the NARS Radiant Creamy or the Huda Beauty Faux Filter. This one here is a little bit darker, so I think what I'm going to do with this one is just the tiniest little bit of spot concealing here on this really, really intense spot. Because the NARS is really bright, so I think that I will use that one for my under eye today, and we'll see how it works with this peach, like kind of peachy color corrector. I'm thinking about trying a new Huda Beauty color corrector, and I almost got I went to Sephora the other day, 2 days ago, to pick up that little mini Natasha Denona matte palette. I haven't been able to film with it yet because I've been ill. So today's the first day that I am putting on makeup. So I'm actually, oh yeah, I forgot I wanted to use that palette today. That's probably the palette that I'm going to use today. So yeah, let me just finish my base makeup and stop rambling about. Anyway, I have really just missed you because I haven't really been filming at all, hardly, compared to Vlogmas. I got really, really used to filming Vlogmas, and so kind of just wanted to come back on while I'm doing my base makeup, which maybe wasn't so necessary, you know, because I'm just hanging out, kind of shooting the breeze with you. But I thought you might enjoy it. I certainly am. Yeah, so there's like a lot that I could say right now about what all's been going on, but I feel like I shouldn't bore you with the details of my life, you know. Yeah, and I've just been like kind of focused on stuff going on, including reshuffling my house. Like I've been rearranging rooms, uses, and moving people into new rooms and spaces and stuff. Not like new people into the house. I'm saying people that already live here, moving them around from like where they used to be into a new zone or whatever, you know what I mean? Like rezoning different areas of the house. That's a nice, concise way to put it. That would have been nice to say the first time around. Anyway, like I said, I need to drink my coffee. I feel like I hear somebody out there in the hallway behind me, but they're not talking to me. Oh, it's my dog. Okay. All right, so my concealer is done. I'm going to put on my brows next. That's one thing that I didn't, hold on. That's one thing I didn't pull out was a brow brush because I just leave that so close by. Just brushing this up. I'm gonna keep my brows pretty simple today because like I just am not in the mood to mess with it. I'm just not in the mood to mess with them, so I feel pretty fortunate that I don't have to like build my brows completely like some people do. Yeah, and I actually have noticed that my brows have been kind of thinning out, and I really contributed to like health issues that I've been going through. So like rather than like start spending money on some sort of a brow serum or something like that, I'm just taking a mineral supplement, like a high quality daily mineral supplement, and that right there will regrow your brows. So yeah, you heard it here first. Well, maybe not first, but maybe you did. Maybe that's the first time you're hearing it. Anyway, all right, there's that for the brows. I feel like maybe I should try to stick them up a little bit more securely. And I'm not 100% sure that I like the color of that brow thing. Okay. I'm going to use this ABH brow spoolie. Hi, Bandit. Just pick up a little bit of this goop. And work my way through the brow a little bit. Yeah, so let me know how you feel about the new backdrop and the new setup for my Get Ready With Me videos. Well, all my videos I think are going to be like this. I just really like the idea of having the video more timeless, like to where you can't tell what time of the year it is just by looking into the video, you know? I'm sorry that I'm looking behind you. I'm literally trying to build my brow in the mirror that's right behind you. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to be trying this like simple plain backdrop for hopefully a long time. Hopefully I'll be able to stick with it for a long time. That's the goal and plan and intent and purpose. But like I have a hard time sitting still with things, and so like we'll see how long it lasts. Okay, and before I talk too much more, I'm gonna do a light coating of some powder. I do really like that NARS concealer. I don't feel like I got enough concealer on my face to be able to cover up all of the corrector, and I'm not sure that it's the right color, so I'm going to go in with my Huda Beauty and just add a little bit more because I do really prefer this concealer. Maybe the one that I got is just not big enough and I need to get a bigger one next time, but I'm gonna go ahead and just add a little bit more concealer because I'm feeling the need. I just put that concealer brush away. Where was it? Okay. So I really like this Sephora concealer brush. It's really nice. I have a lot of concealer brushes that I like now, which I guess is good because concealer brushes get gunked up, and then like unless you're gonna wash it and dry it before you're gonna use it again, you know, you really just can't keep using it all nasty. I mean, you can, I guess, technically, but I won't, is what I'm saying. And so like it's fine for me to have a lot of concealer brushes, but I do kind of have like a ton. I have like a lot of them. All right. I do like the way that Huda Beauty concealer Just came in and saved the day. Okay. Yeah, there. Now I feel like I'm getting close to ready for some eyeshadow. But first we're gonna do some setting of the under eyes. So I'm gonna pick up a little bit on this belly powder brush. This just happens to be the brushes that were in this container that I used most recently that haven't been washed quite yet because they weren't the dirtiest. They were the least dirtiest, you know? So even though I knew my brushes would be dry relatively soon, I don't know, I don't like to use all my brushes all of a sudden just because they're clean. I like to like ease into it. Okay. Now I'm going to use the larger belly brush to powder the rest of my face before I go in with some like bronzer and blush and all that. Okay, love. So let's see where I'm at with this powder. You can see some good windowing. Here's where I'm at so far. So I would say I've gotten some pretty good use out of it. I still have a long ways to go before I need to be worrying about trying any of the new powders, the new hyped up powders. Although I'm curious. I really am curious about the Makeup by Mario powder, but I'm gonna wait on that. All right, and I do have like my cream makeup here to use, but I'm kind of feeling like powder products. See, that's why I don't like to pre-pick products, but maybe this is just like where I'm gonna store some things. I'm gonna pull out a couple of things, hold on. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking, not pulling out the rest of my makeup. Anyway, all right, so I would like to do my lips right now, but I need to get to the rest of my face, so let me just do that real quick. For blush, I'm going to use this beautiful, beautiful brush from Joa. I believe that I paid like $7 for this brush. It's lovely. And I'm going to use it with my beautiful Fenty blush in Bacon Cakes. Just for a little bit of like a natural blush before I go in and do a little bit of an intense eye look. And I'm putting my placement a little bit differently than I have for a long time. Just switching things up a little bit. Like I said, trying new things with my makeup this year. And it's not like brand new, and it's certainly not like brand new to me either. It's just new for the year compared to what I was doing more recently. Okay, so there's a nice little blush moment, like real soft. I hope you can even see it on the screen. I could certainly see it here in person, and I don't want to overdo it just for the film, so I'm gonna go back in with that belly brush and just softly buff that in. Next, I'm going to take this lovely Real Techniques brush. This was from a couple of years back, the Luxe collection, I believe it was, and I kind of regret not picking up the eye brushes from it because I wanted to test them out, especially since this one was so good. But this collection sold out so fast. It was really nice. I've never used this brush with this this particular bronzer, I don't think. So let's just see how it goes. Okay, so there is a very, very natural bronzed face. Then I'm going to go back in with my Nikki LaRose brush and just kind of gently buff all that back into the skin. Marry it really nicely with my foundation. You can use any buffing brush. Honestly, like this is a little bit small to be a favorite buffer. I have a lot of other buffers that I could be using instead of this, you know, like, yeah, I'm still, this is a good brush, but I don't feel like it's like necessary. I feel like the double-sided aspect of it is a little bit of a gimmick in my opinion, and I don't mean that in an insultive way. It's just for the way that it works best. Like, I just don't see the reason of having a powder side on it. It's just my opinion. I mean, no disrespect. Anyway, all right, so I'm going to use a little bit of my, oh God, I'm going to use a little bit of my Hourglass highlighter. This is the Snake palette from, yeah, wow. This is the Snake palette from 2023 in the owl packaging. Okay, is that right? Yeah, I didn't buy the one that came out just now this last holiday. I did not do that. Do I have a highlighting brush here that I can use? That's clean. I have not used this brush in so long. I'm gonna use my Sigma highlighter brush, my little fan brush, and I'm just gonna pick up, ooh, that is starting to chunk off. I feel like this formula is probably ready for me to declutter it. It's really old. It's definitely past the expiration date by like 3 or 4 months. So yeah, might be time to just let it go. So yeah, I'll probably be saying goodbye to this really soon. Okay, then I want to just do a little bit of contour before I move on to the rest of the face. I'm going to use this Angie Hot and Flashy brush for contour, and I'm going to use the light shade. This is kind of fat for a contour brush, but I'm going to try to make it work. Just like a little bit of a light contour, not too much. Because this brush is really dense, it is picking up a lot because it's like so dense. Okay, I feel like I just kind of contoured my nose a little bit too much. It looks weird. Whatever. All right. For underneath at the bottom, I'm going to use this deeper contour, just a little bit. It's a beautiful chocolatey shade. I love it so much. I really enjoy this shade. It's just I got to use it real sparingly because it is way too dark for me, but I can use it like either when I'm going for a super bronzy moment, like if I combine these two a little bit, I can use it, or like when I want a really like super detailed look, I can also use it for that too. Okay, so let me go back in and try to get some use out of this brush by, you know, buffing it in. Maybe just sweeping the powder side. Okay. I do like the way that looks. I'm going to take just a little bit on my puff into this light shade here on the top edge, and I'm going to just carve out a little bit. I don't know, I feel like this side didn't carve as well, but it's fine. And so then, what can I buff that in with? I'm gonna just dust it off with this little Lisa Frank brush that I have here. It's completely clean, but it's just like, it came with this neon pink edge. I'm gonna just okay. Now I'm ready to do the eyes.